All right, guys, it's 2025. You want to buy a new car. I'm a pretty seasoned mechanic. I've seen a lot of stuff in my day from all the manufacturers, almost every manufacturer. There's been a few, obviously, that we don't have in America. Peugeot, Renault, that's how we would say it. Holden, things like that, which is a Chevy. Spent the majority of my life beginning working on Porsche, Chevrolet, done some Ford stuff, moved on to BMW, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, all that stuff. And friends asking me, what should they buy for a new car? Now, if you're in the car market today, chances are you're not in the car market. Most buyers today buy two different types of vehicles, an SUV or a truck. Am I right? I mean, that's pretty much what everybody is wanting to buy. So that leaves you some choices. Some are very tempting, but it may be the worst mistake you've ever made in buying a new car. Now, this is how you tell what is a bad car and what is a good car. Before you do anything else, you want a car that you like how it looks. Everybody's buying stuff, they like how it looks. That's the first mistake. If it's a car that's been out for a little bit, been out for a couple years, go on Facebook Marketplace or eBay. eBay is probably a better judge of it. And let's say you're looking for a 2022 Ford Escape, right? Just as a pure example. Go look at those engines and transmissions. How much do those cost versus other things? Is the engine for that car really expensive? Is the transmission really expensive for that car? And if it is, that tells you all you need to know. You don't, at this point, buying a car in 2025, there are so many bad cars. You don't necessarily look at what looks pretty. What looks pretty will get you financially destroyed within the time the warranty runs out. Shortly after, maybe before if they don't want to cover anything, which is another problem. For your average 4-cylinder SUV, go look at your Honda stuff, your Honda CR-V, your Toyota RAV4, your Nissan Juke. And Nissan's got a whole bunch of junk out. Juke, maybe it is junk, right? All your Ford, your smaller Ford SUVs, Escape. There's a whole sea of stuff out now. Your Chevy stuff, your Dodge, but most of those have the same engine, a variant of the same engine. And a lot of you guys live in America, you want to buy an American car, right? There's no such thing anymore, and I'll tell you why. Buying an American car, you buy a Ford, Chevy, or Dodge, like, oh, it's, made in America. No. Nope. A large amount of that stuff on those cars is Chinese made. And, GM with their AC Delco stuff, they just recently got in trouble. I was reading a write-up on that a while ago. AC Delco has a Chinese problem. And we noticed that working on some local vehicles, starting buying AC Delco stuff a while back, ball joints, tire rods, anything. And it wouldn't last at all. It was like you bought it at some Duralast at AutoZone. It's failed within a month or two. And, we're kind of like, damn, what's going on with that? After talking to some people, after doing some research online, nearly all the AC Delco parts are made in China. That goes the same for Ford, Dodge, Chevy, all that stuff. And you don't want that. Imagine, I'll put it like this. Imagine you got on eBay or Amazon and you bought every single part, cheap part for a car and put it all together and made a car. All from Chinese parts. Would it last very long? No, it absolutely would not. It would last about a week, if even, and it'd be massive failure after massive failure. That's basically what you're doing by buying one of the big three nowadays. So the advice for buying a new car in 2025 is not one of the big three, not buying a truck that's one of the big three. The amount of problems to list even on one of these vehicles, this video will be an hour long. The list is so damn long and so expensive, it is unreal. A lot of people go buy a brand new car in 2025 and think, okay, I got me a brand new car, I'm gonna go drive this thing across the country. And it doesn't make it. It doesn't make it. A lot of times it barely makes it off the car dealer's lot before it breaks down. You know, there's gonna be guys in the comments, oh, I had this car for years. Okay, and it didn't break down. All right, you bought it years ago, right? It's different than today. Today is different. A lot of manufacturers, you know, Nissan, Kia, pretty much everybody puts fancy lights on stuff, tries to get people to buy stuff by looking fancy. Oh, and I hear it all the time. Yeah, I drove through the Toyota lot. There wasn't much there, and I didn't like the way what they had looked. Yeah, there wasn't much there. There wasn't much there. Go drive by your local Chevy, Ford, Dodge lot, Kia lot, Nissan lot. There's a lot there. The parking lot's so full, you can barely get in the parking lot. Why is that, Nathan, you ask? Why is that? Because it can't sell the stuff. You go drive around today. What do you see the most of today? Like within the last 6 months, the most brand new cars. What do you see the most of? Toyota and Honda. Why is that, Nathan? I'll tell you why. It's because that crap don't break down. Doesn't break down. If you're looking to buy an SUV, after having many of those other cars in the shop that are nearly unfixable at low mileage, don't buy those. Don't buy, you know, a lot of your average life expectancy of a Kia transmission failure is like 70,000 miles. That's if you're lucky. But you say, but they got cool lights on this model, or the interest is 1.9%, and they'll loan you longer on certain cars at a lower rate. Yeah, they're trying to get rid of that stuff. And they can't get rid of it. And it's piling up in the lots. You go to a Toyota lot and try to buy a RAV4. Go to your local Toyota lot. Say, hey, how many RAV4s do you have in the lot? And they're going to say 1 or 2 or something like that. And you go try to buy a Ford Escape, go on the Ford lot, try to buy a Ford Escape. Everywhere. But the moral of the story is, why am I there telling you this on YouTube? I'll buy what I want. I don't care. Yes, sir. You can buy what you want. I'm trying to save you from severe heartache. When somebody buys a new car, the very first thing you do, you overpay for it from the get-go. Once you drive a car that has known problems off the lot, the resale is atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. Some of the trucks hold value longer, which I don't know why at this point. There's so many issues. You know, I don't know why that is. I don't think it's going to last. But you buy the wrong SUV, you buy a brand new Chevy Blazer. Go buy one of those. See what happens. You've never seen problems like that. It's worse now than it ever has been in past decades by tenfold. You overpay for it. What's the Chevy Blazer cost? $35,000, $34,000 on average. You buy that, you go to sell it. You buy a thing, drive it off the lot, go to sell it. What's it worth? 25? 10 grand gone? You put some miles on it. You put 60, 70,000 miles on it. Then you try to sell it. Then you can't even give it away. Then it's difficult because it's having all the problems. It's having all the issues. It's absolutely just causing a huge issue. And you're trying to sell it before it breaks down again. You get it fixed at the shop, pay all this money, or it's at the dealership and gotten warranty work done. You're like, man, this thing sucks. I'm going to sell it as soon as I can. It's hard to sell. It's not worth anything. You go buy a RAV4, you drive it off the lot, you pay 34 grand for it on average. What's it worth? You go to sell it a week later, 34 grand, maybe 35. We've been seeing more prices going up. You drive it for 2 or 3 years, put 80,000 miles on it. What's it worth? About 34 grand. You know what I mean? It's a guaranteed home run and you don't have the problems. You know, they're still using the same 4-cylinder that's tried and true for years. You know, same with the trucks. The Tundra's had the engine recall for 22 and 23. What did Toyota do on the engine recall? Immediately recalled it without anybody forcing them to do it. Replace the engine immediately. No questions asked. No questions asked. It wasn't, oh yeah, our coolant ate the block like a Ford, and now we don't want to recall it. And, you know, the government made us recall it, forced us to, and we're going to put another engine in that's just as bad as the first one. And nobody wants to do the recall, and they're going to botch it up when they do it. It's just not the same situation. And I think a lot of people's getting tired of it. As I was saying, you go try to buy it, you go drive around in a parking lot anywhere, your grocery store, anywhere. What do you see the most of? RAV4s and Tundras driving around, and Honda CR-Vs. That's like your most common cars right now. You'll see a few Mercedes and BMW stuff that are probably on lease, and those people are not keeping those long term because BMW can have its problems, right? It can have its problems. If you take care of stuff meticulously, it's not so bad. But your average person just wants to drive it. You just want to go put some miles on it, not have to worry about it. That's why you buy a new car to start with. And this kind of stuff's not really like that. It has to be babysitted a lot. And it costs a lot for maintenance, especially around 90,000 miles. Well, it used to be 90,000 miles in German cars. Now it's more like 60,000 miles. You start thinking about coolant lines and crank hubs and rod bearings and all this other stuff. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you really like this video. Let me know what you think in the comments about this video. We'll see you later.